Oh, good. Nice. Today we're solving quadratic linear systems. Specifically, we're going to solve them algebraically. Do you want to see what the answer looks like in a picture? Or it's just so you have an idea of what you're solving for? I'm not going to actually show you how to do it. Honestly, that's it, for right now. I just want you to understand. Quadratics. What do quadratics look like? The quadratics are this bottom part where it's like squared, and quadratics end up looking like a big U-shaped curve, right? Does that ring a bell for people? There are also quadratics. A synonym for a quadratic is also a parabola. Okay. And then linear, this is a line, and so it's going to go right through the quadratic. And guess what the answers we're looking for? Yeah, we're looking for the points of intersection. We're looking for these 2 points right here, right? And if it didn't say algebraically, if it said solve by whatever method you want or said solve graphically, you literally could just draw a picture like this, use your calculator, find the points, write them down, you're done. But unfortunately, it doesn't. So we can't use a picture to get any credit, okay? But that's what we're looking for. All right, so now let's take a look at our equations. Does anybody have any ideas whatsoever? Oh, sure, we absolutely could do that. The only problem with plugging those in is that you see how we plug in y plus 13 over the x squared and y plus 13 right there? We're going to end up having to like multiply it out. So it might be a better idea to subtract 13 over and get it in the easiest possible form so we don't have to do any work. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. Is it that both of those equations are the points, like each equation is one of the points?
Each equation is an equation in itself. Okay. How about this, right? All I'm going to do is reorganize things. You see this top equation up over here? This top equation, if I subtracted 13 from both sides, I'd get y equals x minus 13. Did anybody get confused? How about this bottom equation? Check it out. I'm just going to subtract 3 from both sides. I'm going to get y equals x squared minus 6x minus 3. You're the man. Brandon, you're the man. We're going to use substitution. We are literally, since y equals x minus 13 and y also equals x squared minus 6x minus 3, we are going to take this quantity, we're going to sub it in right here because y equals both of them. So x minus 13 equals x squared minus 6x minus 3. So here we go. What are we going to do? So now we have it all in terms of one variable. We're going to solve for x. We're going to set it equal to 0. So obviously, we're going to subtract all this nonsense over to the other side, right? Minus x plus 13. These cancel off. You get 0 equals x squared minus 7x. What? Plus 10. Do you know of two numbers that multiply to be 10, add to be negative 7? Oh, nice. 5 and negative 2. So it's going to be x minus 5, x minus 2. And then we're going to solve it. This is just what I taught my freshman class earlier this morning, right? Set them both equal to 0, and you solve. Some people know a shortcut. In fact, one of my students said, can I just take the opposite of what's in parentheses? What do you think of what she said? Yeah, she's right. She's not wrong. Take the opposite of what's in parentheses. That's eventually how it works out, right? X equals 5. That's 1. Whoops. Sorry about that. I do not want to put a square around it. And then finally, cross it off. X equals, whoa. x equals 2. Nice. Look at that. So we are not done yet. We are not done yet. And who can figure out why? And who can figure out also what else we need to find out? Emily?
Well, we have the x value, but they also asked for the y.
Yep. So we have the two x values, right? Nice. There they are. But we need to find the y value that goes specifically with each one of those x's. So here you have a choice. You can either plug it back into this equation, or you can plug it back into that equation. Which one do you think I would do? The top one. Do you think it matters which one? Why would I choose the top? Good. I suggest you also choose the easier one. But, you know, if you like, you know, just doing all that math in your head, practicing, you're all good. Okay, so here we go. So now we're going to find the y values, right? So you're going to get y plus 13 equals 5, because that's what we subbed in. And then we're going to add 13 to both sides, and subtract 13 from both sides, sorry. Minus 13, minus 13. Anybody know what 5 minus 13 is? Negative 8. Okay.
How do you know if it's a 5 or the 2?
We're going to use both. And then we're also going to on the other side, right? Y plus 13 equals 2, and I'm just subbing it in with the parentheses. We're going to minus 13, minus 13. What's 2 minus 13? Negative 11. And so here we have two y values. Now you can't, that's worth 5 points. The last and final step is awarded for you writing the coordinates together. So that's our solution set. That's our brackets. One answer is 5 comma negative 8. Those two x and y's go together. And the other one is going to be 2 comma negative 11. That's it. So here we go. So we put another problem up on the board, right? That was in black. All I did was reorganize this top equation to be this, 2x squared minus 10 equals y. And then I subbed it in. Subbed this quantity in right there, right? Set them equal to 0 and solved. And then I tried to get it equal to 0. So I added 2x squared to each side. That got me 4x squared. I added 3x to both sides. That got me this positive 3x. I subtracted 12 from both sides. That's how I got negative 22. The only alternative you could have had was probably, if you did it the other way, minus 4x squared minus 3x plus 22. Am I right? Yeah? Okay. Now we're kind of screwed. Who knows how to factor stuff like that? You could try, right? You could do it through the AC method. You could do it through what else? There's a famous formula that helps you solve this now. We talked about it. What formula is that? What's the name of that formula? Yeah? The quadratic formula. So let's list all the different ways you could try and solve this. Different methods to solve. What's up, buddy? Just setting it all equal to 0. Okay? The different methods you could try and solve it. Well, we could use the AC method if you really wanted to. We could try and see how that one turns out. We could use the quadratic formula. We could use everybody's favorite, completing the square. Oops. Which one do you guys want to go with? We've got to take a vote. Those in favor of the AC method, raise your hands. That's one. That's two. Those in favor of the quadratic formula, raise your hands. That's like the rest of the class. Those in favor of completing the square, raise your hands. That is a small minority. Well, you guys can all, let's all check our answers. Everybody go their separate route. I'm going to stick with the majority of the class with the quadratic formula. I'm going to do it that way. Okay. So, this was our class vote, so we're going to do it. So here we have, right? Whoops. Let's do 4x squared plus 3x minus 22 equals 0. We're going to list off A. A is 4. B is 3. C is negative 22. And to be honest with you, this is really what screwed people on the Regents exam, right? The first way I tried to show it to you wasn't that bad. But everybody got to this step, and they kept trying to factor it, and they were so stressed out from taking the Regents that on the last problem, they couldn't get this, and people just freaked out. They just gave up. Some people broke out into tears. Yeah, it was crazy. I felt so bad. I was like, oh, you're so close. Don't give up. Right? Let's remember the quadratic formula. That's x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared, that's 4ac, all over 2a. Who completely forgot that? Of course. Let's plug it in. X equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of, 3 squared minus 4 times 4 times 22 all over 2 times 4. I got a question. That stuff underneath the radical, that b squared minus 4ac business, who remembers what that's called? Chad? Ah, I left off the negative. Stupid fool, dumb me. That should have been a negative. That's it. Now it's fixed, right? Yeah. Who remembers what the stuff underneath the radical is called? Yeah? The discriminant. Excellent. Good job, Jamie. Okay. We're going to try and work on this without a calculator as best as we can, just to try and improve our skills. 3 squared is how much? 9. Oh, now that's going to be actually really hard. 4 times negative 22. How much is it? 361? What's 9 minus 361?
The whole answer is 360.
This thing underneath? Okay. The whole answer is 361. Yeah. And then the bottom number should have been 8. Who knew? Who knew? I thought we were all lost. I thought we were screwed, right? That's x equals negative 3 plus or minus 19 over 8. I need to fix that up. Okay. How do we convert that into normal numbers? Right. Let's extend the page. Let's split it up. That's x equals negative 3 plus 19 divided by 8. And x equals negative 3 minus 19 divided by 8. No, what's negative 3 plus 19? 16. What's 16 divided by 8? Ooh, there's one answer. How about what's negative 3 minus 19? Negative 22, right? What's negative 22 divided by 8? There's the other one. We're done, right? So, we're not done yet. We still got to figure out the y's that go with it. Whoops. Whoops, let's see. Which one, there's no easy one to plug back into, right? So just pick whichever poison you want. Which one are we going to go with, the top or the bottom? Okay, let's plug it back in. So what was one answer that we got for x? One of the answers was that we got x equals, no, oh, we got x equals 2. Okay, what happens when x equals 2? Then we're going to plug it back into that equation. So we're going to get 2 times 2 squared. Oh my gosh. What's up? Hold on one second. The minus 10 equals y? Oh, you mean this one? Can I plug it back into this right here? Sure, yeah. So 2x squared minus 10 equals y. Let's write that on top so I don't have to keep flipping back between the pages. So 2x squared minus 10 equals y. All we're trying to do is figure out y now. One of the things that we got was that x equals 2, so we're going to plug it back in. So 2 times 2 squared minus 10 equals y. 2 times, that's 4, times 2 is 8. 8 minus 10 is negative 2, right? So one of the coordinates is 2, comma, negative 2. That's one of our points of intersection. Let's find the other one. What was the other one that we got? 2.75? Negative 2.75 squared minus 10 equals y. Can somebody do that in their calculator? How much does y equal? Jane? Is that how much it's squared, or that's how much it is totally at the end? 5.125? Negative or positive? So 5.125 equals y. So that means the other answer you're looking for is negative 2.75, 5.125. Right, and there's our answer. We could just put a comma in between. We could put our solution brackets around it. That's it.